Well, folks, the Shell Toucher is back. On June 26th of 2025, I once again found myself in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. Or rather, departing from Saint-Jean. En route to Spain, but this time, I had a different trip in mind. It wouldn't be your run-of-the-mill, middle-of-the-road Camino Frances. No. I would begin on the Camino Frances and finish on the Camino Portugués. And that's what I did. Once I got to Burgos, I took a train to Madrid, and then a plane from Madrid to Porto, Portugal. And so, fellow peregrinos, that's where we'll begin now. Day 1 of the Camino Portugués. Buen Camino. Good morning, Porto. I think it's time to start this. Okay, folks, it's on. We're leaving House of Sandmen and heading out for our first day. It is a little late. Hold on. It's about 8:20. Sorry. But, yeah, let's see what it looks like outside. 63 degrees.
Conditions are perfect.
If you are looking to start your pilgrimage off right, I highly recommend staying at the House of Sandman. This had it all, folks, and it was easily the most comfortable albergue I've ever slept in. The bunks were amazing, the people were amazing, the restaurant, the common area, it had it all for the low price of €35. And the best part about this location is the very next morning, all you need to do is cross this epic bridge, bang a left, and you're on the Camino. From here, it's pretty much a straight line all day. Just remember, keep the water on your left. This is especially important considering it took me maybe a couple hours before I spotted my first arrow. Water on the left.
Still, not ideal for tracker goals.
I made the decision to walk the Litoral route. Not literal, but the Litoral, also called Senda Litoral. It's an unofficial Portuguese Camino route that starts in Porto and follows the Atlantic coast toward Vigo.
So folks, I had to put up an arrow right there. It's the first one I've seen because I put it up, but there's none for the Litoral starting out. So I hope that helps someone out there.
It overlaps with the coastal route at stage starts and finishes, but the path often differs, as you'll see. And remember, when in doubt, water on the left. Well, folks, it's kind of the perfect day to start this. It's overcast all day. And I've seen a lot of pilgrims so far. Probably about a handful. Is that a lot? Does that count for a lot? I don't know. It's almost impossible to not know where you are on day 1. And soon, you run up on Castillo de Queso, Castle of Cheese. This has less to do with the shape of the 17th century fortress and more to do with the shape of the rock it was built on. Just saw the first arrow, folks. Right by Matosinhos Beach. So,
That is the first official arrow I've seen.
As you pass the Zimbordo de Senhor de Padrão, you are walking by an 18th century coastal shrine built as both a light tower and a place of prayer for sailors. It once helped guide ships towards the Douro while fishermen stopped here to ask for protection at sea. For pilgrims on the Camino Litoral, it marks the moment where the route truly meets the Atlantic. And for some reason, it reminds me of Plymouth Rock. Irony? Built in 1926, the Ferro de Lessa is the second tallest lighthouse in Portugal, coming in at 151 feet. Shortly after the lighthouse and perched dramatically on the rocky coastline of Lessa del Palmera, the chapel of Saint Clemente of the Rocks, a testament to centuries of maritime and religious history. It was originally constructed in 1392. Fun fact, in January 1913, the chapel served as an impromptu shelter for the British steamship Veronese, which ran aground on the nearby rocks during a violent storm. If you're not paying attention, the next point of interest you could actually walk into. It's dead center in the boardwalk. It's the Obelisk of Memory, built to commemorate the 1832 landing of King D. Pedro IV. Took 24 years to complete.
Well, folks, it's almost a travesty. Look at that, it's coming out of my head. Well, folks, I almost lost one of my tips on the boardwalk. It went through one of the cracks on my stick, and it came out without the tip. And then I had to fish it out I had to take off the baskets from my pole and fish it out and reinsert it in the sand. It was I'll demonstrate it somewhere, maybe here. I'm not exhausted, but yeah, a lot of boardwalks. But we knew this going in, right?
That said, I can't recommend it enough that you wear comfortable shoes on the Camino Portugués, either a size larger or a size and a half larger than your typical streetwear. Also, consider adding an aftermarket insole to add to the shock-absorbing qualities of your shoe, because the boardwalk is unforgiving, as it is long.
So folks, a little after 1, been hiking all day, made it through the nuclear power plant area and the sewage treatment thing, and now it's just like, it's magical. So I can't really complain. Breathing in that salty, briny air now. Ooh, the first hill of the day. I mean stairs. Anyways, folks, get back to you in a bit. Isn't this wonderful? Just I'm talking.
Like, comment, and subscribe!
We're about 2.5 miles away from Villa do Conde. I don't know how to pronounce that in Portuguese, but okay, folks, the sun is out and it's on. And yeah, I have about, I don't know, 2.5 miles more to go, methinks. but I don't know what that equates to in time. But we're gonna find out. Oh, yes, we're gonna find out. I still need to find a place to stay too. Pavan needs to do some laundry. Bom camino.
After hiking about 22 miles that day, or roughly 35k, I needed to find a place to stay in Villa do Conde. I landed on a place called Kachinan's Hostel and Apartments. It was a mixed albergue of some pilgrims, but mostly tourists. It had hot showers and, get this, air conditioning. Until next time.
Bom camino.